Most delightful and talented young lady. She has starred in her own television series. She's very busy appearing on guest starring on a lot of television shows. Would you welcome, please, Miss Sandy Duncan?
He was really nice.
Yeah, isn't he? I have met George Foreman before.
But he was gentle, and I liked him.
Those are the kind of fellows that always fool you.
Punch you out.
Yeah, yes. You go to a luau and punch out.
Yeah.
It was always the quiet ones as a kid when you grew up. They were very, quiet. It was the loudmouth guys you really never had to worry about. It was some quiet little guy to sit around, and then, remember, that's the old cliche, and then the town bully would pick on him once, and the kid would clean him. Just real quiet. You look very pretty tonight.
Thank you.
I'm not supposed to say congratulations. You're supposed to say best wishes to the bride, right? Yeah, you just were recently married.
I am a married lady.
Wow. Well, congratulations. No, I started to say congratulations. You're not supposed to say congratulations.
That's right. No,
Why do they do that?
We did why?
Yeah, why do they congratulate
You're supposed to congratulate the groom for winning the hand of the girl.
Thank you.
Goes back, I don't know. It's a long time in history.
I see.
That's
and you
really
go
it.
back a long time in history.
But that's really it. That's why you congratulate the groom and best wishes to the bride.
I saw your book in the bookstore about getting thin.
Very good. It works, eh?
It do, yeah.
Where did I lose it here?
No, right.
And you married the man that all the fan... What? You didn't marry the man?
See?
Oh.
It really gives you pause about the credibility gap in the news altogether, because they all say that's the doctor that got the thing out of my eye, but that's not true. He was one of the doctors who was looking for the tumor, but he didn't do the actual operation.
I see.
You don't fraternize with your patients. That's against doctor rules.
Well, obviously somebody did, or you wouldn't be married, right?
Anyway, no, we did like you did. We wanted a quiet kind of thing without the circus aspect that can happen. So, we went we were going to go skiing. That was the main purpose of the trip, actually. And we thought, by the way, we'll get married. And
So as not to blow the whole weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of going to a movie one night. No, so we did. And it was weird because we thought, get married on the Nevada side, because then you don't have to go through all the license. I mean, they make it so easy to get into it and so hard to get out, as you know, right?
I think it's sometimes it should be the other way around.
That's
they should
right.
make it as difficult to get married as it is to dissolve a marriage sometimes.
I agree. 2 minutes, it was, do you? Yes, I do. Fine, goodbye. And that was it. And the other thing takes years. Well, anyway, we went in, and it was a blizzard, and it was snowing, and we drove, and we said, okay, here's a little justice of the peace. Let's do it here. So we got out, and they said, oh, it's so, it's snowing. The judge is very busy. Could you go on somewhere else? Oh, okay, fine. We get in the car and we drive on to another town. This is Carson City. You've heard of that?
Oh, yes.
One of your better places. So the judge was in court. So we went across the street and gambled a little and came back, and we signed the papers, and then we went in, and the judge was just arriving, and our best man was his secretary. And he was in cowboy boots and a shirt. He was very nice. It was, it was a quick wedding, and we went on skiing. Which is a bad thing to do on your honeymoon. Do you ski?
No, but why is it a bad thing to do on your honeymoon?
They're all so perfect, those people, those girls. They have those little bitty noses and little bitty teeth, and they have long blonde hair, and I don't ski.
Oh.
And
Snow bunnies, isn't that what they call those girls?
They're really live.
And they wear the tights. They live around ski lodges.
But they're perfect, and
and they wear those tight ski pants.
Oh, and their outfits, cute outfits. And I'm sitting there with my book, and Tom is going up and down the lift with these perfect girls. And I thought, that won't work, you see. I've got to learn to ski for self-defense. So I got on all the gear. Have you ever been in the gear?
I've had ski boots on. I tried to ski once, years ago, when I was in the service. I went up to Mount Rainier. And I was in the service, and I put a pair of skis on, and somebody put me up on a slope, and it was disaster. Absolute disaster.
Me too. Yeah. I thought I was going to be the star of the class. I got in the beginner's class, and they surround you to picket fence so you won't hurt the other skiers. And I kept veering into the picket fence, and the guy who was the instructor, I think he was German, and he kept...
They're all Swiss now.
They're all Swiss or something, but they're mean, whatever they are. And I kept getting lodged in the picket fence with my skis, and he kept coming over to me and saying, "You're an embarrassment to the class."
Oh.
And he says, and so I kept trying, and finally I thought, I'm not having fun, having a good time. So I'm going to take off my skis and go sit with my book, and I don't care if those girls are pretty. He said they're shallow, and they're not bright, and they have no sense of humor.
Well,
So all I'm
he's
telling
not going on a scavenger hunt either. I mean, shallow and bright. So,
Anyway,
that was
I
a
don't-
funny line you said.
What?
I got tired of trying to have a good... What?
Oh.
Having a good time, of trying to have a good
Oh,
time?
that's it. Anytime. You know, any kind of sport. I don't know about you, but with all the... It's hard to have a good time.
Yeah.
When
Are you jealous?
Of
You think you're
who?
jealous? Well, of your husband? I mean, are you possessive?
Oh, yeah.
Very possessive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew that before. That was never a quality I thought I had.
Until you got married, then all of a sudden... Is he possessive?
Yes, but not as much. Men are cooler about things like that, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, we'll have a word from one of our sponsors, and we shall be... We're back. We're talking with Sandy Duncan and Steve Martin, a very funny young man, and Benny Barnes will join us a little later. We've talked about, Sandy, you come from a little town in Texas, right? Small town?
Tyler, right?
Tyler, Texas. And you went to New York when you were...
I was 19.
19. Now, that would scare a lot of people.
Yeah, except it would scare, well, it did, except I moved into a very sheltered environment, which was good for me because around 14 or 15, my mother kept saying, "Is there anything you want to talk about?" And I said, "No." So it was a good thing that I moved into a place called the Rehearsal Club. It's like a girls' dorm, sort of, in New York City. Carol Burnett lived there. A lot of people lived there. And it's great because you have built-in friends. And you kind of learn the ins and outs without having to cope immediately with New York, which is a lot to cope with when you're sheltered from a small town. And the people that live there, it's all kinds, you know, like Copa girls, Rockettes, what else? Actresses, opera people, ballet dancers, and everything.
All
and
women,
Huh?
All women.
No, yes, yes, all women. In fact, men aren't allowed above the first floor. They have a little sitting room. It's very provincial and very nice. Anyway, so I lived there for about 3 years, but the first week I was there, they have a thing where you set off the alarm system if you open the window too far, and the police come and the bells ring, and I did that, and they allowed me to stay, and...
Why did you do that?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, I see.
And then the very next week, I was getting ready for a date. And so, you're not supposed to have electrical appliances. It's an old building, and they're trying to make money now to renovate it. And I had everything. I had TV, radio, a hair dryer, plug-in curlers, the whole thing. So I plugged in my hair dryer to get ready for the date, and the lights started to flicker, and I just panicked. I thought they're going to throw me out. Here I am. I don't know anybody in New York City, and so I unplugged it. I thought, oh, my God. I ran out in the hall. I said, "Judy, come here. The lights are off in the room." She came in, she says, "Yes, they are. They're off, and you've done it now." So we started hiding everything. All of a sudden, the girls are talking out in the hallway. We go out, and I said, "I have blown this whole building, Judy. The fuse is blown, and I've done it, and they're going to kick me out." So the girls are running around screaming, and it's dark, and I go and I look out the window because, and I've blown the block.
The whole block went out?
The whole block is gone. And it turns out to be the New York City blackout. It wasn't me after all.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you were there
Not
then during
funny
that
to
blackout.
me.
We were getting ready to tape the show that night, and it went out about, I think, around 5:30. And that was the strangest town to walk around in that evening, and until you did it with your hairdryer.
That's right.
We'll be right back. You got a cold? Here's a word from Vicks on suppressing that nasty cough.